Every pain you've ever faced wasn't there to destroy you. It was there to transform you into someone stronger, wiser, and more alive than you ever imagined. Sometimes in life, the very things we try hardest to avoid end up being the very things we need the most. Pain is one of them. We grow up believing that pain is punishment, that it's some kind of curse or unfair burden placed upon us. We say, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" But what if pain was never meant to destroy you? What if in reality pain was sent to you as a gift? A gift that doesn't come wrapped in shiny paper or tied with a ribbon, but one that carries lessons so powerful, it has the ability to shape the entire course of your life. Think about it. Without pain, would you even notice the value of joy? If you never knew heartbreak, would you truly understand the beauty of love? If you never failed, would success taste as sweet? The truth is, pain is not there to punish you. It's there to awaken you. It comes into your life to strip away illusions, to break the walls of comfort that keep you stagnant, and to push you toward growth you would never have chosen for yourself. Pain whispers truths that comfort can never tell you. When you look back at the hardest moments of your life, don't you see that they taught you something? Maybe they humbled you. Maybe they made you more compassionate. Maybe they revealed who your true friends are. Or maybe they showed you the strength that was lying dormant within you all along. You see, without pain, you wouldn't have discovered those treasures. Comfort doesn't teach you resilience. Comfort doesn't make you wise. Pain does. That's why it's a gift. But the problem is, most people never unwrap this gift. They spend so much time resenting pain, running from it, numbing it, denying it, that they miss the lesson it came to deliver. And here's the truth. When you ignore the message, the pain doesn't leave. It keeps knocking on your door louder and louder until you finally pay attention. Pain is life's way of saying, there's something more for you, but you won't find it here in this comfort zone. You need to grow, you need to move, you need to transform. When you shift your perspective and begin to see pain as a teacher instead of a punishment, everything changes. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you begin to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That small shift in perspective transforms suffering into growth. Suddenly, instead of being crushed by your trials, you are being crafted by them. Instead of being defined by your wounds, you are being refined through them. Life doesn't hand out pain randomly. There's a reason behind every scar, every tear, every sleepless night. Some lessons can only be learned in the fire. Some strengths can only be born in the storm. Some wisdom can only come from being broken, so you can rise again with a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. That's why pain is a gift, because it gives you something that ease never could. So the next time you face pain, don't curse it. Don't run from it. Pause for a moment and realize, this is not punishment, this is preparation. This is not here to break me, it's here to build me. This is not a curse, it is a gift. And when you can truly believe that, when you can see pain not as the end but as the beginning, you will no longer be a victim of life's struggles. You will become the student who learns, the warrior who rises, and the human being who understands that even in your darkest nights, life was still giving you a gift, because pain, my friends, is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to deliver you. Comfort feels good, doesn't it? We all love stability, the familiar routines, the sense of control. It feels safe to stay where nothing challenges us, nothing shakes us, nothing forces us to stretch. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort zones don't build strong people. Comfort zones keep us exactly where we are, while pain is what pushes us to grow into who we're meant to be. Pain breaks comfort, and in doing so, it builds character. Think about the times in your life when you truly grew. Was it when everything was easy, predictable, and calm? Or was it when you were thrown into chaos, when you faced setbacks, heartbreak, rejection, or loss? It's the struggles that shape us. It's the nights you cried yourself to sleep and still got up the next morning. It's the failures that humbled you, the betrayals that taught you discernment, the losses that taught you gratitude. None of those moments were comfortable, but they built something inside you that comfort never could. We sometimes make the mistake of equating comfort with happiness, but that's not true. Comfort might bring temporary ease, but it rarely creates fulfillment. Pain, however, pulls you out of that bubble and forces you to look deeper. It makes you ask questions you'd never ask if everything was going smoothly. It shakes your foundations so you can rebuild them stronger. That's why people who've endured real hardships often have a depth, a resilience, a wisdom that those who've only lived in comfort may never know. Consider the seed that must break before a tree can grow, or the diamond that must endure immense pressure before it shines. or the muscles in your body that must tear and ache if they are ever to get stronger. Nature itself shows us this principle. Without pressure, without breaking, without discomfort, growth is impossible. Your character, your strength, your resilience, these are forged in the fires of pain, not in the cushions of ease. The truth is, life is always preparing you for something greater. And if you never experienced pain, you would never develop the character needed to handle that greater. Success without pain makes you shallow. Power without pain makes you arrogant. Love without pain makes you ungrateful. But when you've been through pain, when you've tasted struggle, you approach life differently. You appreciate the light because you've walked through the dark. You value kindness because you've felt cruelty. You embrace opportunities because you know what it's like to lose them. And this is where pain becomes your ally. It doesn't feel like it in the moment. It feels like the world is falling apart. But when you look back, you'll see that pain was stripping away what you didn't need. It was tearing down walls that were keeping you small. It was forcing you to grow in ways you would never choose for yourself. Pain is the architect of character, chiseling away at who you thought you were, to reveal who you were always meant to be. So when pain breaks your comfort, don't resist it. Don't resent it. Realize what's happening. Life is shaping you. It's teaching you to endure, to rise, to carry strength in your bones and wisdom in your heart. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that the very moments you prayed would go away were the very moments that made you who you are today. Because in the end, comfort makes you feel safe, but pain makes you become strong. When life is smooth, when everything seems to go our way, it's easy to feel confident. But the real test of who we are doesn't come in those moments of ease. It comes in the storms, in the nights when you feel like you can't take another step, when everything inside you screams to give up, and yet somehow you keep moving. That's when you discover your true strength. Pain, as harsh as it feels, has a way of revealing a side of you that you didn't even know existed. Think about it. How many times did you believe you couldn't endure something, and yet here you are, you survived? You thought that heartbreak would crush you, but your heart still beats. You thought that failure would define you, but you rose again and tried once more. You thought the grief would drown you, but slowly you learned how to breathe again. All those moments you thought were the end were actually the beginning of a deeper understanding of yourself. That strength, that resilience, it was always inside you. Pain just uncovered it. We often underestimate ourselves until life forces us to face the impossible. It is in the pressure, in the breaking, in the moments when everything seems lost that we discover the strength we carry. And it's not just physical strength, it's the strength of spirit, the strength of will, the strength of determination. Pain reveals to you that you are far stronger, far braver, and far more capable than your mind ever allowed you to believe. Have you ever seen someone go through unimaginable hardship and yet stand taller because of it? That's the gift of pain. It doesn't just toughen your skin. It awakens your soul. It takes the fragile image you had of yourself and replaces it with the reality of who you truly are. Because strength is not built in easy days. Strength is revealed in battles. And sometimes you don't know you're a warrior until the war comes to your doorstep. And here's the beauty of it. Once you've discovered your strength, you walk differently. You carry yourself with quiet confidence. You look at obstacles and instead of saying, "I can't do this," you say, "I've been through worse. I'll get through this too." Pain leaves you with a new awareness, an unshakable faith in yourself that cannot be taught in books or speeches. It can only be earned in the fire of your own struggles. So the next time you face pain, remember this. It is not just here to hurt you. It is here to show you something about yourself. It is here to peel back the layers of doubt, to silence the voice of fear, and to awaken the power you carry within. Pain is not just a mirror of suffering, it is a mirror of your strength. And when you begin to see yourself that way, when you realize that inside you lives the resilience to rise from anything, you will no longer see pain as an enemy. You will see it as a revealer. Because through pain, you don't just survive, you discover who you truly are. One of the hardest truths about life is that most of us would never willingly change if everything stayed comfortable. We cling to routines, to familiar places, to relationships that no longer serve us, to habits that keep us small, simply because they are safe, because they feel familiar. We don't like to step into the unknown because the unknown is scary. But pain, as unwelcome as it feels, is often the very thing that pushes us out of that comfort zone and forces us onto a path of transformation. Pain is the catalyst for change. Think about it. How many times have you held on to something far longer than you should have? Maybe it was a job that drained your spirit, but you stayed because it paid the bills. Maybe it was a relationship that you knew deep down wasn't right for you, but the fear of being alone kept you trapped. Maybe it was a lifestyle that you knew wasn't healthy, but you didn't have the urgency to change. And then one day pain showed up. The job became unbearable. The relationship shattered, your health declined, and suddenly you had no choice but to confront the truth. That's the gift of pain. It breaks what needs to be broken so you can rebuild into something better. It's not that life is cruel. It's that life knows what it takes to wake you up. Sometimes pain is the alarm clock ringing, shaking you out of the dream of comfort and forcing you to face reality. Without it, you might sleepwalk through years, even decades, never realizing that you were living far below your potential. Pain jolts you awake and pushes you toward the changes you would have never made on your own. And here's the thing. Those changes, though painful at first, often turn out to be blessings in disguise. The career that ended pushed you toward your real passion. The heartbreak that shattered you taught you self-worth and opened the door to a healthier love. The health scare that terrified you made you value your body and your life more than ever before. Pain closes doors, yes, but it does so to redirect you toward the ones you were always meant to walk through. It's almost as if pain has an intelligence of its own. It knows what needs to be stripped away. It knows what isn't serving you anymore. It knows when you've outgrown something, even if you don't see it yet. And while it feels cruel in the moment, when you look back, you realize that pain was not trying to ruin you. It was trying to move you. Without it, you'd still be stuck where you don't belong. The truth is, change is rarely comfortable. Growth hurts. Transformation feels like breaking before it feels like healing. But once you cross to the other side, once you see who you've become and what life has opened for you, you begin to understand why the pain had to happen. Pain was not your enemy. It was your guide, leading you toward the change that would align you with your true path. So when life pushes you through pain, don't resist the change. Don't fight to cling to what's gone. Trust that pain is doing its work, shaping you, moving you, redirecting you. Because one day you will look back and realize that the very pain you thought was ending your life was actually the pain that began it. Every single one of us is searching for meaning. Deep down, we all want to know why we are here, why we go through what we go through, and what it all adds up to in the end. But here's the truth. Pain is often the bridge that connects us to that deeper purpose. Without pain, life might feel pleasant, but it wouldn't feel profound. It's the struggles, the hardships, the heartbreaks, and the disappointments that push us to ask bigger questions and to seek out the why behind our journey. Pain, as difficult as it feels, is often the very thing that points us toward our purpose. Think about it. Some of the most powerful people in history, the ones who inspired change and left legacies that shaped the world, didn't find their calling in comfort. They found it in pain. They turned their personal struggles into a mission to help others. The person who was bullied as a child grows up to be the advocate for the voiceless. The one who lost everything in poverty grows into a leader who fights for opportunity and justice. The one who battled illness becomes the doctor, the healer, the voice of hope for others going through the same struggle. Their pain was not meaningless, it was the very thing that gave their lives direction. In your own life, the pain you have endured has likely shaped your values. Maybe loss taught you the importance of love. Maybe failure taught you resilience. Maybe betrayal taught you the value of loyalty. Maybe rejection taught you the power of self-belief. These lessons are not accidents. They are the stepping stones that lead you toward your greater purpose. Pain sharpens your perspective and gives you a mission bigger than yourself. When you experience pain, it softens you in a way that allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. You begin to see that everyone is carrying battles you cannot see. You grow more compassionate, more empathetic, more human. That empathy often becomes the spark that lights your purpose. Suddenly, your life isn't just about what you can achieve for yourself. It's about how you can use what you've been through to uplift others. And in that shift, you discover meaning. It's no coincidence that some of your greatest moments of clarity came in your lowest valleys. Pain strips away the noise and forces you to focus on what truly matters. When you're hurting, superficial things no longer satisfy. You begin to hunger for something deeper, something real, something lasting. That hunger is your purpose calling you, and pain is the messenger that delivers it. So many people spend their lives asking, why did this happen to me? But the real question is, what is this pain trying to lead me toward? When you start to see your hardships not as meaningless suffering but as guiding lights, you realize that even in the darkest chapters, life was writing a bigger story. Pain wasn't trying to destroy you. It was trying to connect you to something greater, something eternal, something that gives your life true direction. So don't run from your pain. Don't dismiss it as wasted or meaningless. Lean into it. Listen to it. Ask it what it is trying to teach you, where it is trying to lead you. Because one day you will look back and realize that your greatest purpose didn't come in spite of your pain. It came because of it. There comes a moment in everyone's life when pain no longer feels like something happening to you, but something happening for you. At first it feels unbearable, unfair, and heavy. You cry out asking why, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. But over time, if you allow yourself to lean into it instead of running away, pain transforms you. It reshapes the way you see life, the way you see yourself, and the way you move through the world. That transformation is the hidden gift pain carries within it. When you go through deep pain, you never come out the same. You are forced to let go of parts of yourself that no longer serve you. The ego, the illusions, the shallow attachments. Pain strips you bare and makes you face who you truly are at the core. And while that process feels like breaking, it is actually making space for something new, something stronger, something truer. You begin to realize that the person you were before the pain could never carry the weight of the destiny that lies ahead of you. You needed to be reshaped, refined, rebuilt, and pain is what did that work. Transformation through pain doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. At first, it feels like everything is falling apart. You lose things, you lose people, you lose parts of yourself. But slowly, something begins to shift. You start seeing life differently. You appreciate small moments you once overlooked. You stop chasing validation from people who don't matter. You prioritize peace over approval, authenticity over image, purpose over distraction. That's not just healing, that's transformation. And it all began with the pain you once wished would disappear. The beauty of this transformation is that it gives you depth. People who have walked through pain carry a light in their eyes, a wisdom in their words, a presence in their being that you can't fake. They know what it means to lose, so they treasure what they have. They know what it feels like to be broken, so they handle others with gentleness. They know what it means to fight through darkness, so they shine brighter for those still in it. Pain transforms you into someone who can walk into a room and give hope simply by existing, simply by having endured. And here's the truth. Transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you were meant to be all along. Pain doesn't erase you, it reveals you. It takes away the layers that kept you from your true self. The false masks, the fears, the doubts, the need to fit in. It shows you the raw, unshakable version of yourself that was hidden underneath it all. That version of you, the one that's stronger, wiser, kinder, that's the person pain was preparing you to meet. So as hard as it is, the transformation that pain brings is something you will one day be grateful for. Because without it, you'd still be trapped in old versions of yourself, living small, living blind to your own potential. Pain pushed you, pain broke you, but pain also rebuilt you into someone more aligned with your purpose, more in touch with your strength, more capable of living a meaningful life. And when you finally realize that, you'll stop seeing pain as your enemy. You'll see it for what it really was, the force that transformed you into the person you were always meant to be. Because the truth is, pain changes you, but it changes you into your truest self. You said, because in the end, pain doesn't just change you, it reveals the version of you that was always meant to rise.